I just got back from the Atlanta Challenger event and I just kind of want to tell you guys about it. So I wasn't sure how I was going to make this video exactly. So I just kind of recorded a bunch of clips while I was there and on my travels. So I'm just filming this bit to kind of bridge the gap between clips a little bit. I did fly out to Atlanta. It was Friday. I found out after I'd booked my tickets and everything about the Flotsam and Jetsam, and it was looking like I was going to be able to barely get my hands on the card. And then I didn't, by about 6 minutes.
My plane was 10 minutes late, and it was just enough time to make me too late for pre-registration and get the cool Flotsam and Jetsam card. But I made it. I'm at my hotel. I'm gonna go get a bunch of drinks and lay down and watch TV and take a shower. It is humid here. I knew it would be, but yeah, we got a dry heat back in Washington State. We don't have this humid heat. So it's just pouring. My poor top hat is oh no, it's the ribbon's coming off. It's so wet, the ribbon's coming off. Tomorrow's gonna be interesting. Bright and early, 6 a.m. for pre-registration, because even though they recognize me, they're still like, no, you're a few minutes late and that's too much. I'm like, oh, okay, 6 a.m. All right, it's 5:30 in the morning. It's about a half an hour walk from the hotel, so I should be there right around 6 when they told me to be there. It's kind of weird to be in the city in the middle of the night when it's still dark. As somebody who grew up very much not in the city at all. So, just concrete everywhere is kind of still odd to me. But yeah, bright and early, ready to go. My feet kind of hurt a little bit after all running around yesterday, but I'm excited. Probably not going to get a Flotsam and Jetsam. They did recognize me yesterday, so maybe it's some magical Christmas land I get lucky and I still get one, but I'm not going to get one. So whatever. I was going to give it was going to be a giveaway prize for you guys, but I guess you'll just have to settle for the Dragon's Fire I'll be guaranteed to get, and hopefully anything else I might be able to pick up today. We'll see. I'll let you know how the first game goes.
It didn't take long. I honestly thought it was gonna be a lot less and a lot longer, but it did not take long. So I was walking through, I saw the Ferris wheel thing, I saw the Olympic ring thing. That was really cool. But right there at that intersection, that's when I was first recognized by a gentleman named Chris, who happened to be a judge for the event. So together we walked in and got set up, found where I was supposed to be, and it did not take long at all. People were recognizing me pretty quickly. It was very surreal.
There's so many people. You're gonna be right in the video.
Oh boy, were there a lot of people. 2,000 people, shoulder to shoulder at some points in there. It was very crowded, but it was super cool. They had it set up so we had like displays, people selling stuff on the sides. The side event stuff was set up on one side of the building. The free play was kind of in the middle next to the registration, well, not the registration, but like kind of a registration for the side events. Like that's where you would go. The melee system crashed, a little bit of exaggeration, but about 1 million times. Pretty close to 1 million, only a little exaggeration there. It was pretty nuts. Every time a round would start, people would pull out their cell phones, check melee to see what table they were sat at. But when you have 2,000 people trying to load melee for the same information, it tends to crash, apparently a lot. But it was time. I jumped into our, not our first game, they called it a meeting, a player meeting. And so we got to hear some words from the hosts of the event.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much for coming out to this amazing, magical, and smart event. I couldn't be more excited to host such a beautiful community of players for a fun and competitive time all weekend long. We're going to be having a ton of side events, a ton of things to do, really exclusive and fantastic prizes on the prize wall, an amazing judge team. Please make sure that you utilize them to make sure that your experience is as smooth as possible.
The whole thing was about 15 minutes long, basically explaining the rules, how the event was going to work, doing some quick breakdowns of, you know, using the melee system, all that jazz. But they also introduced a bunch of people, including Rachel and Ryan. Rachel, I'm gonna butcher this, I'm so sorry. Rachel is like our go-to person when it comes to Lorcana news. She has been featured on their streams, talks about the upcoming stuff. So she's a very important voice in the community. And then of course, Ryan himself, the creator of Lorcana, was there and had a few things to say as well. Super cool.
So you need to decide who is taking the game to win. If both of you decide, I want the game to win, not you, you should probably start playing.
In case you didn't catch that, again, I know the audio is a little rough. Basically, she's saying game 2 wins are super important. Put a pin in that. We're gonna come back to that because that was huge for me.
So we don't like the game, just don't tell me because I'm very emotionally fragile. I'm so proud to see you all here today. I'm so incredibly proud of this community, how you all come together and make such a wonderful community for this team. I believe that I was putting this as a first red smiles, and to see your smiles and to meet you again is just amazing. So I'm going to be here all day. I'm not going to be a competitor because I got me, I don't know, scared. Moving on your game. I will be in the side area, I'm going to be science, and my second I am on your stories and side cards and all that stuff, so please come and say hi. So, thank you so much for all this way, except for those of you who really want to This is a but have a good day, have a lot of fun, and let's have a great day. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited. So we realized that the whole early training, the whole thing, we announced it late, so we were still making plans. We don't have more of the little community, but and another thing we do in Dragon Fire is to make sure we got a story saying,
I know you guys know already, but I'm definitely going to do my best to put subtitles on it because I'm listening back to it. And even for me, who was there, it was rough. The audio was, for lack of a better word, awful. Not just on my phone quality, but they had speakers in several corners of the room. And yes, it wasn't a rectangular room, so there were more than 4 corners. And just because the room was big enough, the sound waves weren't propagating at the same like level, right? So like they were getting the signals at the same time, but I was hearing it and then there's a slight echo, right? And then of course it's bouncing off the walls. So at times a group of us were just sitting there like, I have no idea what they're saying right now. Like, cannot understand a word. But basically, Ryan was saying that he gave out this guy right here. This is a promo. You'll see it at the bottom. It's got the little promo symbol. Scrooge McDuck, which I got Ryan to sign for me. This will be a future giveaway. I'm super excited about this. I will give away the Dragon's Fire as well, but since I'm going to go to the Las Vegas and Seattle events, I'll be guaranteed 2 more. So I think I'm going to buy 1 more of them, and then we'll do a giveaway for a playset of the Dragon Fires. So that'll be a little ways down the road. Keep an eye out for that. But let's jump into some rapid fire clips. Obviously, I was not allowed to have my phone on the game floor, so no recording videos of the games themselves. So what I had to do effectively was play my game, remember as best as I could, and then immediately afterward do a quick recap. So let's go through a recap. I did play all 9 rounds. Let's see how it went.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear me. I won my first game. 2-0. Had an awesome strategy, and it worked. There's so many people. I've been getting recognized left, right, and center. It's been kind of wild. See, told you. Somebody recognizing me right now. 100%, yeah. How's it going?
And rapid fire over, apparently. So game 1, because you know, it was chaotic, I was getting stopped a ton, and I loved it. If you ever see me out in the wild, stop me. A lot of people were nervous, said they didn't want to bother me. You cannot bother me. Feel free, say hi, stop me. It's really cool. I really appreciate it. I had a... This is gonna be a big old tangent. I had a battle buddy named Jonathan, who, and I'll show an image right here. Jonathan recognized me straight away. I traveled alone, so when I got there, I kind of felt like a boat out of water, or a fish out of water, or a Loch Ness monster out of water. Either way, I didn't feel like I was in the water. And so Jonathan was a really solid rock for me. Anytime I felt like I didn't know where to be or what I was doing, he was right there with me, and we just found stuff to do together, which was really cool. So Jonathan, thank you. Special shout out to you. You definitely made me feel not so awkward kind of standing around, but it was really cool to just... There was moments where I was getting recognized, shaking hands, taking pictures, signing autographs, and it was rapid fire. It was back to back to back. It was like the second somebody was like, hey, thanks for making content, somebody else was, Winter, can I take a picture? And as soon as that picture was snapped, another person's hand coming out of nowhere to shake mine. It was really cool. It was very surreal for the first couple of hours. I don't want to say I got used to it, but you do kind of get used to it a little bit, in the sense that it's been happening all day, so it just kind of becomes the norm for the day. Certainly not the norm for life for me, though. Like, if it happened tomorrow, I would still be like, oh, completely unexpected. This is really cool. But as for the first game, I played against a Ruby Sapphire items deck, and that's really important for me because I was running a Amethyst, Emerald, low to the ground aggro deck. I'll share a picture of my actual deck here so you can see it. So my goal was to just be low to the ground really fast. My thoughts going into this tournament were, I don't expect to win any games. I just need to play my 3 games to make sure I get the Dragonfire. I will play all 9 games, but the goal was to just make sure I at least got the 3, so I got the Dragonfire. And then a strategy occurred to me. Going back to what Rachel said about winning the second game being really important, I took that to heart. I developed a little bit of a strategy in my very first round, and it revolved around making my opponent play first in the first of the 2 games. My thought was, I'm playing a low to the ground aggro deck. So if my opponent gets to go first, that means I go second. Me going second is the game that I'll be disadvantaged in with an aggro deck. But in the first game, my opponent doesn't know what I'm playing. So they're not going to necessarily keep a hand that's going to properly deal with an aggro deck. And that really worked out for me way better than I thought it was going to. And in the second game, where of course they know what I have and they can mulligan for it, I get to go first. That is huge. My aggro deck going first has a high probability of winning games. So against the Ruby Sapphire, my opponent was very skilled. They made some really great plays, and my strategy, I think, is the only thing that really pulled me through. So a 2-0 in the first round.
I don't know if I deserve this. I don't think I've ever been seated so high before. table 3 or seat 3 on table 1. My goodness. I guess that's what happens when you win the first game, huh? Well, I won't be up here for much longer though, so don't get excited. Somehow I won. I'm on table 16 though, so my table position changed, but I'm at 14 points. I'm absolutely crushing it. So here we go. Round 3. Told you it was too good to be true. 1-1. Okay, so that means I have won 5 games and lost the 6th. And it was the 6th, which is not the one you want to lose. But I'm still doing really well. I got a lot of points. Time for a quick lunch break and then see how well I do. Hopefully a 128, that'd be great. I'd like that promo card. We'll see. Still winning somehow. I don't know how, but I'm still winning. Another 2-0. That's going. Another 2-0. Another dozen people tapping me on the shoulder to say hi, shake my hand, get pictures, autographs. This is a cool day.
Hey, winner.
How's it going? See, that's what I'm saying. This is I'm very much looking forward to tomorrow, and I'm very much looking forward to Vegas and Seattle. But I'm gonna go take my last 16 minutes before the next round and have a little break. I am tired. Losing my voice.
There's that rapid fire. I knew it was somewhere. So I 2-0'd my first game. I 2-0'd my second game. And in my third game, it was a 1-1. Now you'll have to forgive me. I don't remember all of the matches I played against. I do know that there was one Ruby Sapphire. There was one Emerald Steel, and I believe the Emerald Steel is the deck that I went 1-1 with. I think, maybe. I genuinely don't remember. Then basically everything else was Ruby Amethyst. And surprisingly, I did really well to the Ruby Amethysts, except from this point forward, things started to go a little south.
All right, round 5 is complete, and it's my first real loss. 0-2, which gives me 24 points right now, and the rumor going around is that you want to be at like 45 points to reach your top 64 for tomorrow, Sunday's event. So 7 points if you win both your games. I got 4 more games to play, so I effectively need to win the rest of my games to have a shot at tomorrow. So we will see. Next game should be starting any minute. I did as well as I'd hope. I think I'm gonna get 128, so I'm gonna get the next promo card. We'll see. I'll let you know. All right, so I just played against my Bane. Steel Song. Yeah, I don't stand a chance against Steel Song with my aggro deck. It basically turns into anything I play just gets instantly destroyed. So, yeah, it's a little on the down right now. But if I win the rest of the games, I should still get the new card, I think. Okay, so, just played my 7th game, went 2-0. And if we're looking at the numbers correctly, and based on how the European tournament went, if I 2-0 the next 2 games, I think I'm in the top 64. I think. We will see. I'm gonna be here tomorrow anyway, but it'll be interesting if I'm here to actually compete. But so far, I think it's a possibility.
I won't lie, this is where it kind of got pretty exciting for me. When we were doing the math and the challenge event in Europe had taken place before us, right? Because of the way time zones work. Crazy magic, right? We kind of had a rough idea about how many points you may need to reach the top 64. And it was looking like, yeah, if I picked up my 8th and 9th games as 2-0s, I would have had just enough points to get me there. I believe I finished out on 34 points at the end of it. Spoilers, I didn't get there. But yeah, so that means I had 31 points at the end of the last game. And so that I would have got 14 more points going 2-0 in the next 2 games. That would have put me exactly at 45. So yeah, there was a real possibility that if I would have 2-0'd game 8 and game 9, we would have gotten there. Unfortunately, there's one deck my deck just does not beat, and that is Steel Song. And unfortunately for me, game 8 was Steel Song, and I got wrecked. We'll talk about it in a moment. But I want to talk about the previous games. I did fairly well against Ruby Amethyst all day. The going second in game 1 and then going first in game 2 strategy was working out really well for me. I could not guarantee I would win the dice roll to force my opponent to go first in game 1, but the games where I lost the dice roll, my opponent still just chose to go first in game 1, so my strategy was alive and well for every one of my matches except one of them. And in that one, it didn't matter. I was favored in that matchup, so it was that, I mean, that worked out great for me. I did lose my, I think it was my 5th game, was my only loss to Ruby Amethyst, and I did go 0-2 against them. That person played brilliantly, and their specific version of Ruby Amethyst was a very cheap go wide version. So they had a ton of Rafikis, a ton of snakes, a ton of foxes, a ton of Cuscos. They were playing the Exert Pinocchio, and he was doing really well about bouncing it and getting to reuse it. And so his go wide board, super effective against my aggro strategy. So I definitely lost that. And then the other game that I lost was I played against 2 Steel Songs. The first Steel Song that I played and lost against, that guy, really great deck, but there's nothing I can do against it. It's the second guy in round 8, which we're about to hear from. That guy, he went on to make the top 8 of the entire tournament. So while I didn't stand a chance based on decks, I have a feeling there was a chance I probably would have lost the game had I even been playing a favorable deck against him, because top 8 player took me out.
All right, definitely not doing top 64. Apparently there are 2 Steel Song decks here, and I played against both of them. So I think if I win the next game, I think I'll be the 128 and get the second card. Or I'm already there. I don't know. From what I'm hearing, it sounds like I might not even get the 128 because the European one that happened, it was like 42 points got the 128 and 45 points was top 64. Like that was the difference, 42 to 45. So if I win my next game, that brings me up to 38 points. That's not enough, but maybe. I gotta try for it. One more game to go. There's 5 minutes left of this round. Cross my fingers, it's a long day. I just wanted to record this little bit. I think it's fitting that I started off today in purple, and I'm going to end today in purple again. So I started in purple, ended in purple. Last game, we'll see how it goes. All right, so we're gonna round out the day here. 9 rounds, I am exhausted. Pretty much everyone has made it back over in this corner. That's where the top 64 is happening, well, gonna happen. And they're breaking down who's gonna make it. Last game, Ruby Amethyst, 1-1. I lost the first, I won the second. Apparently the second one's more important for tiebreakers, but it does not matter. I'm probably gonna hang out for at least 10 more minutes. I got 5 more minutes left on round 9. I wanna know where I landed. It's not the top 128, but I wanna know where I'm at.
And at the end of the day, it turns out my rank position was 474th, which out of 2,000 players, 474 sounds bad, but it's 2,000 players. So with that math in mind, that means I was top 25%. So think of it that way. I was in the top 25%, the upper echelon. That's 75% up. If you're thinking grades, what is that? That's a C plus, somewhere in there. I think I did pretty well. I did go into this tournament thinking I was going to lose every single match, mostly because it's that many players. I expected every deck to be there, except Steel Song. I knew Steel Song would be there. I just didn't expect it would be there in the numbers it was there because of how popular Ruby Sapphire has been, and how Steel Song just tanks to that deck. So it seemed like that's why I didn't bring Steel Song, because I felt like I was going to run into a lot of decks that I was very unfavored against. So I figured a lot of people would do the same thing. Why bring a deck that has a lot of unfavorable matches? And it turns out that enough players brought it, and even one of them made it into the top 8. So top 25%, 474th, with a line there of actually having a chance to be in the top 64. That line was there, and I had some bad luck facing against 2 Steel Song decks, which, funny enough, I played against more Steel Song decks than I did Ruby Sapphire, and I definitely expected Ruby Sapphire to be much more prominent than it was. But yep, that's where we placed. I did go down for day 2. I slept in that morning. I took my time, got something to eat, so I didn't actually show up to day 2 until like 2:30 in the afternoon. I chose not to participate in any of the side events and instead stood in line to meet Ryan. Got some autographs. Like I said, we got this guy. I also got my badge, which you can't see. It's hidden right in the corner next to the box there. I got my badge signed by him. So I'm thinking I will also sign my badge if you guys think that would be a cool raffle prize, having a competitor badge from the first challenge event signed by both myself and the creator of the game. What do you think? Would that be a cool raffle prize? Let me know in the comments down below. Speaking of raffles, this month we are giving, in fact, I say this month. What is today? Today is May 29th if I'm uploading it when I want to upload it, which means this upcoming Sunday? No, the Sunday after. This upcoming Sunday. The 9th! The 9th, I will be doing a brief live stream. We're going to give away these 2 booster boxes right here. This is the new Ursula, Return of Ursula, Rise of Ursula, whatever it's called. I haven't really had a chance to look at set 4, forgive me. We're going to give away both of those booster boxes and 2 enchanteds. We're going to give away the Shere Khan. We're also going to give away the Beast Relentless. So it's going to be Beast Relentless in a booster box as the grand prize, a booster box for second prize, and Shere Khan as third prize. That's going to be happening June 9th. So keep an eye out for it. Right now, there is a link in the description down below to join Patreon. You must be a Patreon member to win Elsa PSA 10. This is going to be going until the end of July. You have to be a Patreon member, and then you go to the link ko-fi.com or Ko-Fi, however you want to read it, and in increments of $12.50, every donation you make in that increment will earn you a raffle ticket for Elsa. I'll be giving this away as well, so get your chance to win Elsa. Again, $12.50 is a raffle ticket. If you jump into a Patreon tier that is of any increment of $12.50, you will automatically get a raffle ticket for those tiers as well. So you can get raffle tickets through Patreon, but you can get as many raffle tickets as you want through the ko-fi.com website. Get your tickets in for Elsa today. A lot of people have mentioned that they didn't, pay to win. It kind of seems that way, but let me be honest with you, not that many tickets have been sold. So, spoilers, your chances for getting Elsa are actually way higher than you think it is. Get your tickets today. That's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to everyone at the actual event who stopped and said hi and got pictures and told me your Lorcana stories. I was genuinely surprised how many of you said you learned the game watching my videos. I did not set out this channel to be educational, but I'm glad to hear so many of you actually learned to play the game through me. And I think a part of that has to do with I have no fear about putting my wins and my losses into videos and showing you how I'm thinking about the game and watching me learn how the mechanics themselves work. I feel that all of that is valuable information to understanding the game, and by the sounds of it, a lot of you agreed. It was really humbling to have so many people recognize me and be so kind. But it was especially humbling when I really put it together that so many of you said you learned to play the game from me, and now here you are playing in the first challenge event 2,000 players? That is crazy to me. That, hey, I learned the game from you, and I feel confident enough to play in this major event. That means so much to me, and I really wasn't expecting that. It was really cool. Thank you guys for being so kind and appreciative, and I'm excited to get into it and to jump into set 4 now that I have the time for it. I finally get to learn all of the cards and start making some crazy decks, which is what I'm about to do right now. Thank you for watching. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, share all the fun stuff. I will see you guys tomorrow.